The massive alien ship drifted silently through space, its engines cold and dark. Inside, the ship's captain lay curled up in a ball, all six of his eyes wide with terror. Around him, his crew members were in similar states, some frozen in place, others hiding under consoles. None of them could move. None of them could think clearly. All they could do was feel the overwhelming fear that gripped their hearts. Captain's log, Day 3 of the crisis. The ship's computer recorded automatically. All crew members remain incapacitated. Fear levels at maximum. No response to emergency protocols. This scene wasn't unique to this ship. Across the galaxy, on millions of worlds, advanced civilizations were falling into panic. The bright ones, creatures of pure crystal and light, had dimmed their glow to almost nothing. The cloud minds, beings of floating gas who prided themselves on their logical thinking, had condensed into tight balls of matter, unable to process simple thoughts. The cause of this universal terror floated through space like giant shadows. The aliens called them the Darkeners, massive creatures that seemed to be made of pure darkness, each one larger than a small moon. They moved between star systems, consuming everything in their path. But it wasn't their size or their destructive power that caused the galaxy-wide panic. It was something else, something invisible but overwhelming. A psychic field of pure fear that radiated from them. The Galactic Council, usually a place of careful debate and planning, had turned into chaos. Representatives from hundreds of species huddled in corners, their translator devices picking up nothing but whimpers and cries of terror. The council chamber, once proudly displaying the technological achievements of 1,000 worlds, now felt like a hiding place for scared children. We must. The High Counselor, a being of pure energy, flickered weakly. He couldn't even finish his sentence. The fear was too strong. That's when something unexpected happened. A small ship, tiny compared to the massive council vessels, appeared on the emergency channels. It was a simple cargo vessel, the kind used for basic trade between systems. Its design was neither elegant nor advanced. The name painted on its hull read Lucky Star, and it was from a planet called Earth. "This is Captain Bill Green of the Earth vessel Lucky Star," a calm voice came through the communication system. "We've picked up multiple distress signals. Is everyone okay out there?" The alien representatives stared at their screens in shock. How could anyone be speaking so normally? How could anyone even function? "Human vessel." The Council's automated system responded. "Please be advised that this sector is under Level 10 terror influence. All biological beings should be incapacitated. Please confirm your status." Level 10 terror. Captain Green's voice carried confusion rather than fear. "Well, we feel a bit uneasy, like that feeling before a big presentation or a first date. But we're all fine here. My crew of 4 is functioning normally. Do you need help?" The news spread quickly through the remaining functioning communication channels. A species existed that could resist the fear. A species that felt the terror as nothing more than mild unease. A species that could still think, move, and act while in the presence of the Darkeners. The humans had arrived on the galactic stage, not with advanced weapons or superior technology, but with something far more valuable: the ability to face fear itself. In the following hours, more human ships responded to the distress calls. They were all simple vessels, cargo ships, mining craft, even a tourist shuttle, but each one reported the same thing. Their crews were functioning normally, feeling only mild anxiety, where other species felt paralyzing terror. As the Darkeners continued their slow advance through the galaxy, consuming worlds and resources, a small light of hope emerged. The humans, a species that most advanced civilizations had previously ignored as too primitive, too emotional, and too unpredictable, might be the galaxy's only chance for survival. The question was, what made humans different? And could they help before it was too late? Captain Jack Miller stood at the window of his ship, dauntless, watching the huge dark shape move through space. The creature was beautiful in a strange way, like a piece of night sky that had come alive. His heart beat faster, but not from fear, from excitement. "Captain," his first officer, Pete Rogers, called from the control panel. "We're getting more distress signals. 3 alien ships this time, all stopped dead in space." The Dauntless was a simple rescue ship, nothing fancy. 6 months ago, they had been helping broken-down cargo ships near Earth. Now they were in deep space, becoming the galaxy's most important rescue team. "Show me where," Jack said, turning away from the window. The screen lit up with 3 blinking dots. All the ships were close to one of the darkeners. "How many aliens aboard?" "About 40 total," Pete replied, checking the numbers. "All of them. Well, you know, frozen in fear." Jack nodded. He had seen it many times now. Alien crews, some with technology hundreds of years ahead of Earth's, reduced to shaking, trembling masses, their minds shut down by terror while humans walked among them, feeling nothing worse than slight nervousness. "All rescue teams to the loading bay," Jack announced over the ship's speakers. "Standard rescue mission. Remember your training." 4 teams of 3 humans each gathered quickly. They wore simple spacesuits, each carrying basic medical supplies and calm-inducing pills developed for the aliens. The pills didn't stop the fear completely, but they helped aliens think clearly enough to be moved. "Team 1, take the ship to the left. Team 2, the middle. Team 3, the right," Jack ordered. "Team 4, stay as backup. Remember, soft voices, gentle movements. These aliens are experiencing terror beyond anything we can imagine." The rescue pods launched from the Dauntless, each heading to their assigned ships. Jack watched from the bridge, remembering his first rescue mission 2 months ago. Nobody had known what to expect then. Now they were experts at helping terrified aliens. Inside the first alien ship, Tom from Team 1 found exactly what he expected. The aliens, tall purple beings with 4 arms each, were curled up in corners or hidden under furniture. Their eyes were wide, their bodies shaking. "It's okay," he said softly, even though he knew they could barely hear him through their fear. "We're here to help. Just a small pill, and you'll feel better." On the second ship, Mary's team discovered a different species, floating gas creatures trapped in their solid form by fear. They needed special care, but the humans worked calmly and carefully. The third ship held a surprise. Among the terrified crew, one alien sat at a control panel, shaking but still trying to work. The alien looked up as the humans entered. "How?" it asked through the translator. "How are you so calm?" Lisa from Team 3 smiled behind her helmet. "We're human," she said. "Fear works differently for us. Here, let me help you." Back on the Dauntless, Jack received the reports. All 3 ships rescued. All aliens safely moved to the medical bay where they could recover. It was becoming routine, but every rescue taught them something new about both the aliens and themselves. A message flashed on his screen, marked urgent from the Galactic Council. "Captain Miller," the message read, "your success rate with rescue missions has been noticed. The Council requests your presence. We need to understand how humans resist the fear. More importantly, we need your help planning our next steps. The Darkeners are approaching major population centers. Time is running out." Jack looked at the message, then at his crew. They were simple people doing their jobs, but somehow they had become the galaxy's best hope. Not because they were fearless. Humans felt fear just like everyone else. But somehow, they had learned to work through it, to think past it. "Plot a course to the Council station," he ordered. "It's time humanity took a bigger role in this crisis." The Dauntless turned smoothly through space, heading toward the center of galactic civilization. Behind them, the rescued ships followed, their crews recovering slowly. Above them all, the Darkeners continued their mysterious journey, unaware of the small humans who could resist their terror. Dr. Emma Roberts stared at the brain scans floating in front of her. The laboratory aboard the Galactic Council station was far more advanced than anything on Earth, But the images still showed the same simple truth. Human brains were different. "Play the fear response again," she said to the computer. The holographic display showed two brains side by side, one human, one alien. When exposed to the Darkener's fear field, the alien brain lit up like a Christmas tree, with activity overwhelming all other functions. The human brain, however, showed a controlled response, with fear signals triggering excitement and focus instead of panic. "Fascinating," said the alien scientist floating next to her, Professor Blue, as humans called him, since they couldn't pronounce his real name, was a ball of glowing gas who had to take triple doses of anti-fear medication just to work near the test samples. "Your species processes fear as motivation." "Sort of," Emma replied, pointing to specific areas of the brain scan. "See this part? In most alien species, fear signals go straight to the panic response. But in humans, they first pass through areas that developed when we were hunters." She pulled up another image, this one showing ancient humans hunting large animals. "Our ancestors had to chase prey for days, following tracks, staying focused even when tired or scared. We evolved to use fear as a tool, not an enemy." The door slid open, and Captain Miller walked in with several council members. Even with their anti-fear medications, the alien representatives stayed as far as possible from the sample of darkener material in the sealed container. "Dr. Roberts," one council member spoke through a translator, "please tell us you have found something useful. 3 more systems have gone dark this week." Emma nodded, switching the display to show her latest findings. "Humans aren't fearless," she explained. "We feel the same fear as everyone else, but our brains develop differently because of our history as pursuit predators. What paralyzes other species actually helps us focus." She showed them recordings of human rescue teams at work. "See, our heart rates go up. We get excited. Our senses become sharper. It's like getting ready for a big game or an important test. We call it being pumped up." "Can this be taught to others?" another council member asked hopefully. "Maybe," Emma said. "We're already seeing results with the meditation techniques we're teaching, and the new version of anti-fear medication, based on human brain chemistry, works better than the old one." Professor Blue floated closer to the display, his glow brightening with interest. "There's more," he said. "Show them the other discovery." Emma changed the display again, this time showing energy patterns from the darkeners. "We noticed something strange. The fear field. It's not a weapon. It's more like a side effect, like accidentally stepping on someone's foot. The darkeners might not even know they're causing fear." The room went quiet. Captain Miller stepped forward, looking closely at the patterns. "You mean they're not trying to scare anyone? Then why are they here? What do they want?" "We don't know yet," Emma admitted. "But look at this pattern here." She highlighted part of the display. "It's regular, almost like a broadcast. Like they're searching for something. Or trying to communicate," Miller added thoughtfully. The council members whispered among themselves. Finally, the head of the council spoke. "Dr. Roberts, your discoveries give us hope. But they also present us with a choice. Do we try to fight these beings, or do we try to understand them?" Emma looked at the brain scans again. Human and alien, fear and focus, panic and purpose. "Maybe we don't have to choose," she said. "Maybe what makes humans special isn't just how we handle fear. Maybe it's how we can help others handle it too." Outside the laboratory windows, space sparkled with distant stars. Somewhere out there, the darkeners continued their mysterious journey. But now, for the first time, the galaxy had more than just fear. It had understanding. And with understanding came hope. "Prepare the fleet," the council head announced. "It's time to test these theories. Time to see if human courage can change the course of this crisis." The combined fleet of human and alien ships hung in space like a swarm of fireflies. Each alien vessel had at least 2 humans aboard, not to fight, but to help their alien partners stay calm and focused. At the center of the fleet, The Earth ship Dauntless led the mission. "All ships report ready," Pete Rogers announced from his station. Around him, the bridge crew worked with steady hands and excited eyes. Through the main window, they could see their target, one of the smaller darkeners, about the size of Earth's moon. Captain Miller stood at the command post, watching the dark shape move slowly through space. "Remember, everyone," he said over the fleet-wide channel. "This is not just an attack mission. We need to learn about these beings. Dr. Roberts, are your sensors ready?" "All set." Emma's voice came through clearly. She was in the science bay, surrounded by measuring equipment. "The new scanners should tell us more about their structure and that strange energy pattern we detected." The plan was simple but dangerous. They would approach the darkener from all sides, using special energy nets designed by human and alien scientists working together. The nets would not harm the creature but would hold it still long enough for detailed scans. "First wave, move in," Miller ordered. 20 ships moved forward, their human crew members sending calm encouragement to their alien partners. The fear field grew stronger as they got closer, but the aliens held steady, helped by the new medications and their human friends. "Energy nets charging," reported an alien captain, his voice shaking but determined. Humans aboard helping us stay focused." The darkener seemed to notice them for the first time. It turned slowly, its massive body rippling like dark water. The fear field intensified. "Hold steady," Miller encouraged. "Remember your training. Feel the fear but let it push you forward." The nets launched, spreading out like giant glowing webs. Where they touched the darkener, they sparked and crackled. The dark creature moved, trying to float away, but more nets came from other directions. "It's working," someone shouted. "We've got it contained." Emma's voice cut through the celebration. "Captain, I'm getting amazing readings. The energy pattern, it's changing. It's forming words." Before anyone could respond, a new sensation hit the fleet. Not fear this time, but something different. Images and feelings flooded through everyone's minds. Asterisk pain. Confusion. Why attack? Why hurt? Lost. So lost asterisk. The darkener's surface rippled more violently. The fear field wavered, changing from terror to sadness. "Stop the attack," Miller commanded immediately. "Pull back the nets." "Dr. Roberts, are you getting this?" "Yes." Emma's voice was excited. "Captain, they're sentient. The fear field, it's not a weapon, it's their emotions. They're broadcasting their own fear." The nets powered down, pulling back. The darkener stopped struggling, its surface calming. More images flowed into their minds. Asterisk relief. Questions, different ones. "You feel fear but stay. How?" Asterisk. "They're trying to communicate," Miller realized. All this time, they'd been trying to talk to us, but their emotions were too strong for most species to handle. Only humans could stay calm enough to listen. Through the bridge window, the darkener moved closer to the Dauntless. Its fear field was gentler now, mixed with curiosity. The aliens on the other ships watched in amazement as their terror faded to manageable levels. "Send a message to the Council," Miller ordered. "Tell them we weren't meant to fight these beings. We were meant to talk to them." He paused, watching the magnificent dark shape, "and tell them we'll need more humans out here. Not as soldiers, but as translators. As friends." The darkener floated peacefully before them, no longer a terror-inducing monster, but a mysterious being trying to make contact. Humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy wasn't their fearlessness after all. It was their ability to feel fear and still reach out in friendship. The first contact had begun, and with it a new chapter in galactic history. Lieutenant Tom Walker felt strange, floating in his spacesuit just meters away from a being that had terrified the galaxy. The darkener had shrunk itself to the size of a small house to communicate better, its surface rippling like black silk in space. Behind him, the Dauntless waited with its engines idle. Captain Miller's voice came through his helmet radio. "Remember, Tom. Stay calm and open your mind. Emma's new device should help translate their thoughts better. Ready when you are, Tom replied, his heart beating fast with excitement rather than fear. The small metal disc attached to his suit hummed softly, designed to help him understand the Darkener's mental images more clearly. The dark surface before him rippled, and the first images flowed into his mind. Asterisk home. Different space. Torn away. Lost. Asterisk. Tom focused on sending back peaceful thoughts. The device helped translate his mental response into something the Darkener could understand. You're lost. From another dimension. More images came, clearer this time. Tom saw vast spaces between dimensions. A terrible accident. A whole group of these beings thrown into our galaxy. Their fear and confusion had leaked out, affecting every species they encountered. Accident brought your people here? Tom asked gently. Your refugees? Asterisk yes. Search for way home. Need special energy. Found small amounts in stars, planets. Must consume. No choice. Need more to open way back asterisk. Tom's eyes widened behind his helmet visor. That's why you've been consuming solar systems. You're gathering energy to go home. The Darkener's surface swirled faster, its colors shifting slightly. Asterisk others run. Others hide. Cannot explain. Too much fear. You stay. You listen. How? Asterisk. Humans process fear differently, Tom explained, thinking of Emma's research. We feel it, but we can think past it, work through it. He paused, then asked, the energy you need, can you describe it better? The images that came next were complex, swirling patterns of quantum energy, specific frequencies of space-time vibrations. Tom's device recorded everything. Tom, Emma's excited voice came through his radio. These readings, they're incredible. The energy they need, it's similar to what our new quantum reactors produce. We might be able to help them. The Darkener must have sensed their excitement. Its surface rippled with new patterns. Asterisk help. Possible to help. No more consuming worlds asterisk. We'll need to work together, Tom said. Your knowledge of the energy, combined with our technology and the advanced science of other galaxy species, we might find a way. Back on the Dauntless, Captain Miller watched the exchange with growing hope. Around him, alien crew members who had taken the new anti-fear medication were starting to realize the truth. The great terror of the galaxy was really just a group of lost beings trying to find their way home. Tom spent 3 more hours talking with the Darkener, learning about their civilization, their accident, their desperate journey. When he finally returned to the ship, his mind was full of new understanding. Send a message to the Galactic Council, Miller ordered after hearing Tom's report. Tell them we need their best scientists. And tell them, he smiled, tell them the monsters under the bed turned out to be just as scared as everyone else. The Darkener remained close to the Dauntless, its fear field now transmitting something new, hope. Other ships began to approach cautiously, their crews protected by human presence and new understanding. Emma looked up from her readings, her eyes bright with excitement. Captain, with the Darkener's knowledge of dimensional energy and our combined technology, we might not just help them go home. We might learn how to travel between dimensions ourselves. One step at a time, Doctor, Miller replied, but he was smiling too. First, let's help our new friends. Then we can think about expanding humanity's adventures in space. Above them, the massive forms of other Darkeners began moving closer, drawn by their companion's message of hope. The galaxy's greatest terror was about to become its greatest opportunity for growth. 1 month after first contact with the Darkeners, the largest space station ever built floated near Jupiter. Humans called it Hope Station, and it was a marvel of cooperation between all species. The station's massive energy collectors gleamed in the sunlight, gathering power in a way never tried before. Dr. Emma Roberts walked through the station's main laboratory, passing aliens from 100 different worlds working side by side. Each alien wore a new type of fear-suppressing device, developed from human brain patterns. The darkener they now called First Friend floated outside the station's largest window, its dark surface peaceful. Energy levels at 70%, announced Professor Blue, his gaseous form glowing with excitement. The human quantum reactors are performing perfectly. Emma checked the readings on the giant screen. The plan they had developed was ambitious: create enough dimensional energy to open a stable portal back to the Darkener's home dimension. The technology combined human innovation, alien advanced science, and the Darkener's natural understanding of dimensional forces. Update from Earth, Captain Miller said, entering the lab. The last group of Darkeners has stopped consuming solar systems. They're all gathering here. Through the window, Emma could see them coming. Dozens of huge dark shapes moving through space. Once a sight that caused panic, now they brought hope. Each Darkener carried within itself the knowledge needed to make this plan work. "Remember when we thought they were monsters?" Tom Walker asked, joining them at the window. After his successful first contact, he had become the main human translator for the Darkeners. Now look at us, building them a way home. The station hummed with power as the energy collectors worked. Outside, the Darkeners began arranging themselves in a giant circle, following the plan they had developed together. Their fear field had changed over the past month, no longer broadcasting terror, but a mix of hope and excitement that humans could feel clearly. "All teams report ready," Miller announced. "Professor Blue, are the calculations complete?" Double-checked by both human and Darkener mathematics, Blue confirmed, his glow pulsing proudly. "We're ready to begin." Emma took a deep breath. This was the moment they had worked for. If they succeeded, they would not only help the Darkeners, but also prove that different species could overcome their fears and work together. "Start the sequence," she ordered. The station's collectors lit up like small suns. Energy flowed through specially designed channels, guided by both technology and the Darkener's natural abilities. The circle of dark beings outside began to pulse with power. "Thank you, came the thought from First Friend, now much clearer thanks to their improved translation devices. "Your courage taught Galaxy new way, *." In the center of the Darkener's circle, space itself began to bend and twist. A point of light appeared, growing larger. The portal was forming. Energy levels stable. Professor Blue announced, "Portal structure maintaining." Through the growing portal, they could see another dimension, a beautiful space of swirling dark energies that looked like home to the Darkeners, but like abstract art to human eyes. "They did it," Tom whispered. "They really did it." "We did it, *" First Friend corrected. "Together. Humans gave courage. Others gave wisdom. We gave knowledge, *" The portal stabilized, growing to its full size. One by one, the Darkeners began moving toward it, each one sending messages of gratitude as they passed. "Wait," Emma called to First Friend before it could leave. "Will we see you again?" The dark being paused, its surface rippling with what they now recognized as happiness. "Portal stable. Bridge between worlds now exists. Thanks to humans who felt fear but stayed. Thanks to others who learned to overcome fear. We will return, not as lost ones, but as friends, *" Captain Miller stood with his crew, watching as the last of the Darkeners passed through the portal. The fear that had gripped the galaxy was gone, replaced by something stronger: understanding. "Well," he said, smiling at the gathered humans and aliens, "I guess this means humanity's first dimensional embassy will need staffing." The portal shimmered before them, a door to new adventures, and a reminder that courage wasn't about being fearless. It was about feeling fear and moving forward anyway. 6 months after the Darkeners returned home, the Galactic Council chamber looked very different. Where once there had been separate sections for each species, now all kinds of beings sat mixed together. At the front of the chamber, Captain Miller stood beside Dr. Emma Roberts, preparing to give their final report. The dimensional portal remained stable, Emma announced to the gathered representatives. We've had 3 successful visits from Darkener diplomatic missions, with no fear-filled incidents. The chamber filled with happy sounds from various species. A year ago, these same beings would have been paralyzed with terror at the mention of Darkeners. Now they leaned forward with interest. But that's not the most important change, Miller added, stepping forward. Professor Blue, would you like to share your results? The gaseous alien floated to the front, his form glowing brightly with no fear suppression device in sight. Thanks to what we learned from humans, he announced, our species have begun to understand fear in new ways. The human method of processing fear, feeling it but thinking through it, can be taught. On the giant screens around the chamber, images appeared showing various alien species learning to handle fear. Young aliens practiced human-developed meditation techniques. Others worked with human teachers who helped them face their fears step by step. In the past 6 months, Blue continued, over 50 species have reduced their fear response to manageable levels without medication. We're learning that courage isn't just a human trait. It's something we all have inside us. Tom Walker, now serving as chief diplomat to the Darkeners, stood up from his seat. And our friends from the other dimension have taught us something too, he said. They've shown us that what we fear most might just be something we don't understand yet. The chamber's main door opened, and a small Darkener, about the size of a car, floated in. No one ran. No one screamed. Instead, the gathered aliens watched with interest as it moved to the front of the room. Asterisk greetings asterisk. It broadcast, its thoughts clear through the new translation devices everyone wore. Asterisk happy to report trade agreement ready. Our dimension has much to share asterisk. Emma stepped forward again. With the Darkener's help, we're learning more about dimensional energy every day. The portal technology is just the beginning. Already, 3 new trade routes between dimensions have been established. But more importantly, Miller added, the galaxy has changed. Humans aren't special because we don't feel fear. We're just a little ahead in learning to work with it. Now, we can help others learn too. He gestured to the chamber full of different species. Look around. A year ago, most species couldn't even be in the same room without panic. Now we're building things together, learning from each other. Fear tried to divide us, but understanding brought us together. The small Darkener rippled with happiness. Asterisk my young ones asked to learn from humans, want to understand courage, want to learn control of fear field asterisk. And human children are already learning your dimension's mathematics, Tom replied with a smile. The next generation will grow up knowing that fear is just the first step to understanding. Professor Blue floated higher, his glow brightening. The Galactic Council proposes a new department, the Bureau of Fear Management and Interdimensional Relations, led jointly by humans, traditional spacefaring species, and our Darkener friends. The chamber erupted in approval. Different species turned to each other, sharing congratulations in their own ways. The fear that had once kept them apart was now a bridge bringing them together. Outside the council chamber windows, ships from 100 worlds moved through space. Among them floated the dark shapes of diplomatic Darkeners, no longer bringing terror but carrying knowledge and trade goods between dimensions. Well, Miller said quietly to Emma, watching it all, I guess humans really did help save the galaxy. Just not in the way anyone expected. Emma nodded, smiling as she watched a young alien practicing meditation with a human teacher. We didn't save it with fearlessness, she replied. We saved it by showing that fear doesn't have to stop us from moving forward. The galaxy had learned its lesson well. True courage wasn't the absence of fear, but the wisdom to move through it toward understanding.